Thanks for tuning in to Any Given Sunday Sports Special. We're back for another week. I have my mans across the street, Jesus. He's dejected. He's thought about multiple things, and we'll get into that because I'm gonna call out certain teams when it comes to this. But what do you got to say, my man? You look dejected on the other side of the screen right now.
I mean, let's get to these picks. I don't really want to do the show. I have an obligation. I'm doing it. Just so everybody's aware, next week there may not be an Any Given Sunday show due to scheduling conflicts. So if it's because I'm 0-3, it's not because I'm ducking anyone.
Sure.
It's scheduling conflicts. It's scheduling conflicts, okay? I'm 0-2 now. I'm here. I'm facing the music. But yeah, let's just get right to the reviews of the games.
All right, let's do it. Let's start with the worst game out there. Let's go Beats by Ray, who put up 65 points and won against Django. Shakir, 0-2 now with 40 points. Yuck. My man, what do you have to say about this game?
I'm going to be very short with all of these games. The New York Powers would have won if they would have played either of these two teams.
It's bad. It is just awful. But props to Ross. He gets the win. He's 1-1. We'll go to the next game. The second worst game out there that I'll select was the Dominican Elites putting up 89 points. That's right, 2-0. They played Tampa's Empire, who's now 0-2, putting up 61 points, with their defense being 13 of those points. Yuck. My man, what do you have to say about this game?
The New York Powers would be in any of these two teams.
Hey, there you go. That enough said. Let's go to the third worst game. We had a slightly punty vibe who put up 68 points. Fortunately, they played a better team, but it was a McPoon handling Goat Engines putting up only 85 points. McPoon is 2-0. Slightly punty vibe, 1-1. Jesus, what do you have to say about this game?
The New York Powers would be in any of these two teams.
Of course they would have. And then our next game we have no three-peat. That's right. No three-peat now. Against Jesus Can Suck It, Dom. Dom puts up 83 points. No three-peat puts up 79. They're 1-1. Dom's 2-0. My man Jesus, what do you got to say about this game?
The New York Powers would be in any of these two teams.
And then lastly, the most interesting game out there came to the last minute wire, and it all went down with Brandon Marshall catching a touchdown pass against the Colts. It was the Dream Killers putting up $132 over the New York Powers, who put up $131. The Powers 0-2. My man, what do you have to say about this game?
I'm hoping. Can the NFL change like a sack or something like that? And I mean, it says here, scores are not official until Saturday afternoon. Change a score. Say that something wasn't a sack to give me the point. All I need is 1 point, NFL. There's still time. There's still time. There's still time. I can still win this game. Sound like a crybaby.
Yeah, I know. You sounded pretty bad right now.
I mean, props to Lewis. Lewis, listen, man. You the man, bro. You did it. You took care of business. Your men showed up. Julian Edelman was an absolute stud. Russell Wilson, yeah, I got jinxed with that one. He just went off. And, yeah, props to you, man. You deserve that game. I tip my cap to you because you absolutely deserve to win that one.
All right, guys, we will go into the matchups. Again, this year we're doing a little bit differently. We normally do go into the power rankings, but we will have those power rankings posted up for you. A little bit of a surprise for you guys out there so you can check it out. So we'll go into our next week's matchups. We're going to start with the worst game out there by record, and that is the 0-2 Django. Shakir going into the 0-2 New York Powers. Jesus, somebody's got to win this game. Somebody's going to be 1-2 at the end of this week. Who's going to be that somebody?
The New York Powers will win. New York Powers are going to win the game, but I mean, I say that, and then all of a sudden, Phillip Rivers is going to drop 50 points potentially, and then the other guys put up 15, 20 points, and then he puts up 120 on me all of a sudden. Yeah, but I'm going to say the New York Powers. By the way, AJ Green's dealing with knee issues already, so.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, and you also have Eddie Lacy, who may be who's questionable on the New York Power side. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, on Shakir's team, he has big injuries, and a worse one is now Tony Romo is now out, so he now has to find another quarterback. He has no Des Bryant, two of the big three, I should say, on his team. And I think the New York Powers are they're still they're a better team right now. They're gonna get their first win and carry on. Our second
I
worst
hope so.
game, yeah, our second worst game, we have the 0-2 Tampa's Empire versus the 1-1 Beats by Ray Pick Six. Is this the end for Tampa's Empire? 0-2, the first time since their 5-8 season. What do you got to say about this, my friend?
I mean, I'm a little concerned for the Tampa's Empire. First of all, Bishop Sankey starting at running back. That's a little bit scary. Secondly, Brandon Cooks. This is a proven fact. Okay, this is not a statistic that I pulled out of my you know what. This is a fact. The Carolina Panthers in the past 7 games dating back to last year have held the opposing team's number one receiver to under 60 yards in every single game the past 7. They're any team's top opposing receiver. They've held them to under 60 yards.
Yikes.
Brandon Cooks is now going up against them. We don't even know what's going to happen with Drew Brees. I don't know if Brandon Cooks can do it for them. On the other side, Matt Forte, rumor has it that he's now dealing with a knee injury himself. He practiced today, but it was limited. Keenan Allen, Jason Witten may not play. Lamar Miller may not play. These teams are just brutally banged up. The difference, however, is Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck shows up this week. Andrew Luck carries this team to the finish line. And Steve just has to hold on because you would have to hope reinforcements are coming somewhere.
You
Somewhere.
would hope.
And at what point does Tampa's Empire say, okay, let's start making some moves? They
It's
haven't done it just yet, but
they
it has
haven't.
to be coming shortly.
It is. It's very shortly. I mean, let's be honest. The Tampa's Empire right now are just a bad team. They're a bad team. Although one can make an argument for injuries, others can say on other certain things. Facts are facts. They're a bad team right now. Andrew Luck's
But
not performing.
you're right about
Ty's
that.
not performing. Evans is not performing. The list goes on and on.
But you're right about that. But here's my question for you. You're a bad team, but how many teams can you say are not bad right now this year in the league?
You're right.
This league is top heavy this year.
You're right.
This league is
It's
top heavy.
very top heavy.
There's
So,
going to be 2 teams, mark my words, 2 teams that will end the season at 7-6 and make the playoffs.
and
Not one,
I would agree with
but
that
2.
statement. I would agree
Because
with that
that's
statement.
how bad this league is this year. It is. I mean, I guess maybe not bad. Maybe you could say it's a little more competitive, but it's brutal. You have a couple of top teams, and then you have the other teams that are just floating around. It's 2-7-6. Mark my words.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
fact is, in
Yeah.
fantasy, when you start 0-2, the percentages of you making the playoffs as an 0-2 team are slim to none. That's just the facts.
Fact.
I I think Tampa's Empire will still win the game based on Andrew Luck being phenomenal and T.Y. Hilton coming back and Evans finally being in 100% of the snaps and not being lied to on Fantasy Live saying that they're going to go and put him in 100%. So I think Tampa's Empire comes out of that one.
Okay.
Our next matchup, we have the 1-1 Dream Killers going into 1-1, a slightly punty vibe. Anthony Austin, my friend, who do you have in this one?
The Dream Killers are going to win this game. Le'Veon Bell's back. Peterson's playing. I don't know what is Dream Killer waiting for. I guess because Russell Wilson's going against Chicago. But Carson Palmer needs to be the starting quarterback for the Dream Killers. I didn't say it last week purposely because I was going up against the guy. So I purposely didn't throw it in that he should have started. But, I mean, Steve will tell you this. If you watch Sport and Debates podcast, you will see that I said he was going to be a top 3 quarterback, Carson
That is
Palmer.
correct.
I am all over Carson Palmer. I don't know why he's not starting for this team. But, again, I get it because he paid a lot for Russell Wilson in the draft. So he's trying to justify it. But, yeah, I don't think this is going to be close. No disrespect to Anthony, but, yeah, you're going to lose this week, buddy.
Yeah, I got to go as well. The Dream Killers, their full roster, powerful team. I think he'll smarten up and put the right quarterback in. Anthony, he got a win. He could sneak another win. It's possible, especially with how the games are going and scores being in the 65s, and that'll win you a game. So anything can happen. But I think the Dream Killers, given last week's results, I think they're going to win. And then our next game, we have, and I believe this is our game
Nope.
No, it's not the game of the
McCoon.
week. Nope, it's the McPoon go handling engines, whatever you want to call them, against no three-peat, 1-1, 2-0 teams. Who do you have in this one?
I'm actually gonna go with McCoon. I love Aaron Rodgers. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. But on the other side, other than Aaron Rodgers, I don't like. I mean, he's already benched DeMarco Murray. That's how serious it's gotten. Three-peat or no three-peat has already benched DeMarco Murray. So this is their lineup: Mark Ingram, Jordan Matthews, Allen Robinson, Jimmy Graham, Justin Forsett, Dion Lewis,
Hmm.
Panthers defense, and Dan Bailey.
Now, here's the saving grace for them.
Go ahead.
If Foster's healthy, they may get him. So, who knows? Maybe
But does
next
Foster
week.
get a full workload week one?
No, no, most likely not. But you never know. You
On the
never
other
know.
side, Breeze is the question mark because he may not play. But after Breeze, you got Jamal Charles, Demarius Thomas, Julio Jones, Travis Kelsey, Carlos Hyde, who's dealing with a concussion, I believe it is, Steve Smith, Broncos defense, and then on the bench, I mean, even if Breeze doesn't play, that might be a blessing because you have, and I hope he doesn't start Alex Smith. I hope he doesn't start Derek Carr because he has 4 quarterbacks. I hope he starts Tyrod Taylor. Because
Oh.
Tyrod Taylor gets you rushing yards along with passing. He's going against Miami. Everybody just saw what Blake Bortles did to Miami. I am all about that. If Drew Brees doesn't play, that's where you go. And he also has Devontae Freeman on his bench. I would consider, if Carlos Hyde doesn't play, you play Devontae Freeman because Coleman's not going to play this week from what I'm hearing.
Yep.
So if Coleman doesn't play, Devontae Freeman's going to get all the carries. I'm going with McPoon. What you got?
Yep. McBoone, for all those reasons that you said. And then lastly, the game of the week, probably the most shocking. You have, that's right, 2-0. Jesus can suck it. I love that name by Dom.
Of course you do.
Versus 2-0, the Dominican Elites and Jeff De La Rosa. My friend, two teams right there. They're at the top of their game. They're the best in the league right now. Who do you have in this one?
I got Jesus Jesus is what team, okay? They're gonna win. They got Tom Brady. Jeremy Hill, you would think may bounce back, but he's going against Baltimore. That's not gonna be easy. I love Odell Beckham going against Washington. I know you like Amari Cooper going against Cleveland. You've made that very clear. I'm a little nervous about that one. But Tyler Eifert's proven to be a very, very good tight end. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jesus, but it's gonna be a very, very close game. Jeff's team is a pretty decent team. Mark my words, this team is a very, very good team. But simply because I think Matt Ryan's not going to be on the field enough against Dallas to put up crazy points. I like Marshawn Lynch. I don't trust Emmanuel Sanders because, again, we got Peyton Manning, who's just not accurate anymore. I don't like Terrence Williams. People know that already. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Dom.
I also am going to go with Dom. I think Dom has the better team in this aspect. I did advocate, if you watch our fantasy shows, that was my deep sleeper, was Amari Cooper for this week. I think he's going to have a phenomenal game. I do like Jeremy Hill. Odell Beckham had looked really good last week, and I think he'll continue to do that. So that enough. And the fact, I mean, let's be honest. You have Tom Brady playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's juicy.
40. Yeah.
That's juicy.
It's going to be real juicy. New York Powers, our rumor has it, they've been in consistent discussions with Dom in regards to Tom Brady, and they've been in heavy, heavy discussions. It's nothing's near imminent. It's preliminary discussions, but they have been talking back and forth.
There is interest.
Absolutely, there is. Absolutely. Real quick, we're almost a quarter of the way through the season. Who are your 4 teams? Are you changing your 4 teams going in?
Yeah, big time.
What you
The 4
got?
teams I'm going in. I have at number 1. I think it's definitely going to be the winner at the end of it would be the McPoon handling goat engines. Very strong team. I think we kept them there at number 1. Number 2 is kind of a little bit of a surprising factor. I'm gonna go with currently Jeff's team because they've been winning so far right now.
Now remember, this isn't power rankings. This is who's going to the playoffs.
Who's going to the play? I understand. He has a 2-game lead.
It doesn't matter. 2-game lead. He hasn't played any division games. Do you have Jeff winning the division?
No, I don't have him in the winning the division. I have him in
So
as a wild
that's my
card.
question.
Oh
You're
yeah,
thinking
I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking about power rankings.
Oh
At
okay,
the
I'm
end of the
sorry. I'm
season,
sorry.
what are your four teams?
Yeah, four teams. I think the Power still managed to get in there. They have a very top-heavy team. Definitely McPoon.
Yeah,
I
McBoone.
think Jeff definitely sneaks in on a wild card, and I think Dom will still find a way to manage to sneak in as well. It's going to be close between him and Lewis, who I really like Lewis's team as well.
I'm sticking to some of the guys I said. I said Rich. I said Lewis. I said myself. And the fourth team originally was you, Steve.
Yes,
I'm a little
can't do that.
concerned.
Can't do it.
I'm jumping off the bandwagon. I'm actually going to say number four is Dom.
Dom, good pick.
So that's my one big change is I think Dom, which if you see what I just did there, only one team makes it out the East. And if you listen to our picks this week, that sounds about right because there will be nobody 3-0 in the East Division
Yep.
if everything goes the way we predicted it to go.
Yep.
That's how weak the East is this year. And I can't believe I'm saying that, which, hey, it gives me hope, I guess, right? That's our show, everybody. Stay safe, be safe. We out. Peace.